IG. We getting ready to go live with Aggie K on Facebook. I just pressed the go live over there. Aggie, you got the hearts flowing on your side. Your people show up. Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Welcome to the No Small Business Left Behind Money Summit live. This is our first live in the queue with the summit, which I'm going to tell you a little bit about in a minute. But I want to do one thing first. Right after I introduce myself. I am Michelle Talbert. I am the founder of Her Power Moves, a community of approximately 2,000 women worldwide, online, in person, 3 chapters in Florida, and we're coming to a city near you as well. And we are all about ensuring that women in business, solopreneurs, side hustlers, connect, collaborate, and create cash flow unapologetically, which is why I really can't wait to have this conversation with Aggie today, because she's all about unapologetic cash flow, right? And I'm also the founder of Her Power Space, which is where I'm standing right now, which is a co-working space, podcast studio, and event venue here in Lauderhill, Florida, South Florida, Broward County. And I want to introduce you to Stormy. So we just celebrated our first year in business. So if you're doing the math, you realize that I opened up a space for people to gather and come together in January of 2020. Whew, I'm so glad it's January 2021 now, right? Okay, so that meant that we went through one hell of a storm. And one of the things that kept me going were the women in our community, was our community who was like, no small business left behind, right? Like, we can't fail. We all win. And if you've been on any of my other lives, you're used to seeing the we all win wall behind me here in Her Power Space. Our orange we all win wall is very prominent. Well, at our anniversary on January 12th of 2021, we introduced Stormy. She is our mascot. Because what you may not know is that when storms come, cows run away. They try to outrun the storm. Cows try to outrun the storm. Did you know that? They try to outrun the storm and they never do. The storm will always pass over them. But bison, like Stormy, run through the storm. They face the storm and run through it to the other side. They get to the other side faster than the cows who run away from the storm out of fear, but still don't miss the storm. The storm will always come. And so for us, celebrating our first year in business in the midst of a pandemic and still being here when the big co-working spaces are gone and dying, and our community showed up for us, when I found this piece of art, I knew that I had to have her installed. And on top of that, we actually added a quote, and this is Enid Nolasco of Raw Made Branding and I, who did the space together initially for our anniversary. It says, just as bison run through the storm, so too shall we. And that, I think, summarizes what it means to be a small business owner. The storms are going to come. It might not be a global pandemic. Lord, let's hope it's not a global pandemic again in our lifetime, right? But it will be something. Life, business, something will throw you a curveball. And the goal for us is to ensure that we have community. The reason that we're still standing is because we're more than bricks and mortar. We are a community of people who happen to inhabit a building wearing our masks, of course, when we can, okay? So in the beginning of the pandemic, I was in a fetal position in bed, like, oh my God, I am 2 months into a brand new business, my first ever brick and mortar business, and I lost 95% income day one, right? What am I doing? All the mistakes, all the things that go through your head when you question yourself about your choices, right? But it was the women in our community who got me out of bed because I knew I had to show up for them because they were hurting too. And at least if we could come together and collectively share our pain and bolster each other where we could, that we would make it. And I came up with the concept of the no small business left behind because I was pissed off. I was pissed at a government that said, these entities are too big to fail. And we lost 400,000 Black-owned businesses from February to April. But they want to focus on who's too big to fail. No, no small business left behind. That's why this is so important to our mission, to have these conversations, to bring to you the information that you need to survive, thrive, and get through the storm. All right, I'm done. So that is why we have the No Small Business Left Behind Summit. We have hosted events that tell you how to crowdfund your PPP, how to use your brick and mortar business to do other business so you can pivot, how to pivot. This one, we are focusing completely on getting to the money, y'all. Y'all know I had to do this really well, right? Where the money reside. Okay. So we are hosting on February 16th, the only money summit you need for 2021. And that is the manifest it, multiply it, and mind it money summit of the No Small Business Left Behind. And we are going to welcome to the stage the person who will be discussing manifesting. So I'm going to bring her up. You can see her already on IG. So if you're on IG and you want to invite people over here to Her Power Moves and the conversation with Aggie K, I call her Aggie K, and she calls herself Aggie K, Agnes Kowalski, right? And I just added her to the stream on Facebook. Super exciting. Thank you, Aggie. So this is why we are here on the 16th of February. We will be hosting the No Small Business Left Behind Summit, and you can get early bird tickets right now. Go to nosmallbusinessleftbehindsummit.com to get to the money. So without further ado, Aggie K, right? She is a manifesting coach and GRM specialist. She's going to tell you what GRM is, and welcome.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
I'm
so pumped from that TED Talk that you just I feel like I need to just process that. It was so amazing. Oh my gosh, what a year. And I'm so excited to be here and so excited for you to have me. And I'm so excited about the No Small Business Left Behind Money Summit. To get focused back on our money. And today I thought my talk in the summit is going to be how to supercharge your manifesting. But today I thought it would be fun to talk about 4 ways to not hate manifesting, because it's become a little bit of a dirty word. It's abused. It's, people don't like it a lot of the time. They're like, it's just junk, or it's, has a lot of privilege attached to it. And it's like, people are abusing it in lots of ways. So I thought, let's talk about some ways we can not hate it. Might be kind of fun. And manifestation and mindset, right? 2 different things. And these things work together. Manifesting by itself doesn't work. Mindset by itself doesn't necessarily work. Like, these things all work in combination. And I think I've tried everything. So I'm like the Evel Knievel of manifesting. Tried it all, so I can sort of tell you what works and what doesn't work. And these are the things that I thought it'd be fun to chat about, because Michelle's so fun. I thought it'd be fun to chat about things that might make you not hate it. Okay, so
exactly. So I'm gonna let you have the stage, and then I'll come back up. How about that? Because I want people to focus on you.
Okay, perfect.
So I'm gonna head down and I'm gonna look at the comments. If you're leaving comments on Instagram and or on Facebook, I'll be shouting you out and sharing those. Aggie is amazing. I've been really following her for years. She has helped me so much with my mindset about money. Because I'll be honest, I was raised by a hippie who thought money was evil. So you don't make 6 figures because those are evil people, right? Yeah. Big business is evil. Even I just said too big to fail, right? So we focus small, but that doesn't have to mean not abundant. So I'm gonna leave the stage and let Aggie talk to us about what it means to really get out of our own way and manifest these money. All right, thanks, Aggie.
So here are my top 4 ways not to hate manifesting. One is, I want you to think about manifesting like creation or co-creation, right? This isn't just stuff that magically happens to some people and not to other people. This is a creation space rather than just manifestation, which means you have a choice, right? Sometimes it seems like some people manifest money, other people don't, and why not me? And I want you to know that this is about creation, and not just something happening to some people and not to other people, that we get to create and co-create. And I think thinking about it as creation rather than just manifestation gives us a much more active part in what we're making and what we're creating and what we want to see. So like the basic thing is thoughts, feelings, and actions, them being lined up and showing up in your world as something or something better, right? So to me, one of the big pieces around not hating manifestation is that it gives you an opportunity to sort of do like an emotional cleanup or an energetic cleanup. Like, what am I thinking about when it comes to money? What am I feeling when it comes to money? Do I completely separate myself from it? What is this relationship like? Right? So I'm also a grief recovery specialist, and this is where that big piece comes in. It gives you an opportunity to emotionally clean up around this relationship. It is such an important relationship. We interact with money every day, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. If we have worries in the back of our mind, if there's things in the back of our mind about money or bills or clients or dreams or hopes, then it's there, right? That relationship is there. So we want to bring it forward, make it conscious so that we can actually do something with it, right? If we're ignoring it or avoiding it, we're going to manifest whatever we're worrying about, right? It's going to show up. And that's just cause and effect, right? That's just cause and effect. If it's in the back of your mind, bring it forward and let's examine that relationship. So we can clean it up. What's in there? What's in the history? What's in the evidence? What have you been shown? And this is a really intense relationship, right? It's something that, we inherit some of these relationships, from our families, from how we grew up, from our businesses, right? From how these businesses are treated by other people, by bigger systems. There's all these ways that we're absorbing it. So we want to clean up so that we can choose. How do I want this relationship to be, right? How do I want it to be? How do I want it to come into effect? And the big piece, the big distinction for me between manifesting and mindset is that manifesting is a game and you have to want to play. We're not always in the mood to play. And so to me, that's the time to do mindset work, right? Work on your mindset. What's the resistance? Why isn't more coming in? What are your beliefs? What's happening there? When we're talking about manifesting, we're talking about playing a game. And sometimes it's serious. And most of the time we're serious. We have bills to pay. We have, logic we have to follow. We have strategies that we want to have in place. These things are all really important. But when you're talking about manifesting, there has to be some place in your life where you can play, where you can dream. We don't want that to disappear because it makes it really not fun. Then everything about money and everything about creating becomes hard and a struggle and, only measured in data. And it's not fun. We are human, but we are also like other things. We have a spirit, we have a soul, we have joy, we have an inner child. There has to be a place to play and have fun and make it a game. Because if that's not there, all work and no play makes us what, Michelle? Like very dull, right? And I don't know, like the memes that you've seen about people who are enjoying money and having a good time. They're having a good time with money. They're having fun with money, right? They're enjoying the receivership. They're enjoying that relationship. And that's a hard thing to do when there's not a lot of it coming in, but we have to start where we are. Whatever comes in, like Michelle celebrating one client coming in or one booking, that she celebrates all these things. She's so amazing at that. And that's something I've had to learn to do because I was resentful. I was like, I don't want to celebrate this measly, wearing that for our call today because obviously. Empowered women empower women. Right? But I had to learn to be a little more playful, because for me, it was really serious all the time. And there has to be some percentage of fun in this experience, in this relationship, or like, why? Like, it's so hard. It's just, you're going to keep repeating that belief.
And I love that you always talk about having fun with money, right? Because when we're shown fun, look at the images we see about Scrooge McDuck swimming in his money, right? He's having fun, but at the expense of everyone else.
Right.
Right. And you teach us how to have fun with everyone else. Like, let's all have fun with our money. Let's make it and have a blast, baby.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, let's design things so that we can be together, so that we can all profit, so that we can all share in the joy. Like, it doesn't have to be whatever you've seen. I mean, in this day of the internet, literally people can make money any which way they choose. And if you get your mindset behind it, you get the manifesting and the mindset together, and then you have a really good combo, because you're looking at what you're resisting. So you're looking at that piece, but you're also dreaming. Like, if you don't have a play muscle and you don't have a desire muscle, and it's just about like the next day and the next day, this does not create a lot of meaning for money to you. Then it's like, to me, it's like, I'm deeply resentful that I have to do this, so that I have to earn money, so that I have to pay the bill. And yeah, those things are realities, but we get to choose what kind of vibe we want to have around it, and give yourself permission, because money was very serious matter. You don't play around with it. You don't mess with it. You don't screw it up. You don't invest it badly. You don't waste it, God forbid. And like, there was a lot of pressure around how you're supposed to behave with it. So the reality is, the people having the best time are like really enjoying it, right? So start with what you have and enjoy what you have. Play, dream. Our dreams are the muscle that has to like be cultivated, right? That muscle really has to get worked, because it does atrophy. Like, if we're just in the grind every single day and in the hustle every single day, it's not a good time. It's not like the energy of, like, if we're talking about our future self, like, in the future, I'm going to be happy. In the future, I'm going to have fun with money. In the future, then we got to bring some of that here right now.
And I think that is so typical for business owners generally, right? Because even when we're like going after a goal, it's like, okay, check the box. It's a to-do list. It's check the box and on to the next goal. We don't even sit there and savor that goal being achieved, right? Or even a milestone on the way to the goal. And that's what I think so many of us get wrapped up, like you said, right, in this grind, because we're always aspiring. It's like we're never just being. I think one of my favorite preachers is Joyce Meyer, and she has this way of just talking to you, just real plain. Been following her for like 30 years, and she said, "You will never go outside and see an apple tree like, I'm gonna make apples today, right? The apples just come. The tree is, and the apples come." And some people are like, "Oh, this is so woo-woo." No, if your spirit is out of whack, everything is out of whack. This is not about woo, this is about real. Money is real, right? And it's all energy. And I love how you train us about sort of getting out of our own way and dealing with the grief attached to money. Like 2 weeks ago, I had this call with my dad, because I've been working on my own worthiness with regard to earning income. And I realized the types of arguments he and my mom used to have. And it came back. I'm 51 years old on the phone with my 76-year-old dad, talking about, oh my God, the fights you guys used to have about money. I realized in that moment that she always said yes and he always said no. And we always did the thing she wanted to do, but I never knew why he said no. Was it for later? Was it a not right now? Right? So in my own marriages, it was like, yes, yes, yes. And any resistance I met from my husband was like, no, no, no. You're just saying no to say no. And it came back to me. My God, I have no idea why my dad said no. Was it for later? Was it because, no, we can't afford it? What was it? And so we literally talked 40 plus years later about some of those conversations. I didn't even realize that had come up for me with regard to money and resistance, and that it's always tension around money. Somebody always wants to say yes, and somebody always wants to say no. So thank you for
Wow.
that. And it's because of working with you. I mean, I've been following you for what, 3 years, 4 years now. And you really always nail it on the head when it comes to getting out of our own way so we can manifest it, because it
Yeah.
is possible. I've
Yeah,
seen
thank
it.
you so much for sharing that. That is an amazing story. And it just goes to show how deep this stuff, you don't want it to be this deep, but it is.
We
Okay.
are.
It'll go. Right? Like I have the
So
immigrant
true.
story, I have the scarcity stuff. My parents, did not invest in themselves. That was not something you did. Like you did
Right.
not invest in yourself. So we're breaking all kinds of generational patterns here, and that's a big deal. You need support in that. You need to be in events like this where you're talking with other people and seeing that you're not alone in breaking these things. And it is a big deal. Okay, it is a big deal.
Well, why is it so important? Why is it not woo-woo? Or if it is woo-woo, why should we still do it? Why should we still focus on mindset versus just get the money, right? What's the problem with that?
The problem is that I think it's not sustainable. In my opinion, that's not a sustainable way to go, because you need all parts of you to come. So what happens often is that people will like mindset their way only, and they're working really hard, and you can create all kinds of abusive relationships, right, with yourself in this process. You're mean to yourself, or you're hard on yourself, or you're not disciplined enough with yourself. Like everything gets reflected in your money, right? So this is why cleaning this up is so important, because it ripples wherever you go. How you feel about money is going to ripple to your pricing and how people feel buying on the other end of it. Did they feel relaxed? Are they excited? Are they shopping? Are they feeling good, or are they stressed and afraid to click because that's how you're feeling, right? This gets reflected everywhere. So the lightness and the fun, like, helps people buy, right? They want to buy and have a good time and know that whatever they're buying is going to feel really good, because you're on the other end holding that manifesting string, going like, I feel good and light about this too. Like I'm excited about this, right? I'm bringing the energy of fun and excitement to this experience. So it's ripples everywhere in our lives, right? Even if it's like, I'm resentful at this bill that I'm paying, well, there's a ripple effect of that, right? So we want to clean that up. We want to be good stewards, not just of the physical money, but of the exchanges of money, of the relationships we have on both ends, of this relationship. So we want to clean it up. So is it woo-woo? Yeah, because we're multidimensional. We're not robots just here to make money and die, right? Like that's not what we're here to do. Our human just wants to have a good time, truth be told, right? Our human came here to have a good time. Like we don't want to be suffering and struggling all the time. So like we want to clean that up so that we and create a relationship that is fun and balanced, right? There is, every relation has to have all things. Being a good steward, like that's why we have all these different elements that Michelle brought together, all these different women that she brought together to mind it, to multiply it, and to have a good relationship with it, because there are all these aspects. We are multidimensional, and we have to speak to all those different parts. So you can take a look. Am I a good steward? Am I like resistant to manifesting? Or do I not think about the money, right? Do I not focus on it at all? And then I don't really know it's in my subconscious, and all these weird things just keep showing up in my life that don't seem congruent with my dreams.
I'll be right back. The delivery man's here. I'm a co-working space. We're working. All right. Let's keep talking, Aggie. All right. Sorry.
So I think that, this gives us an opportunity to re-examine our relationship, to do our sort of like audit, like auditing, what is this relationship with money like, to audit our dream muscle. Are we dreaming? Do we have some safe space to like dream and have fun and play the game? Even if it's a small thing, like, can I, sell one ebook, one $20 ebook today? If I just focus on that, can I sell one today? And once I sell one, can I sell another one, right? Like just start with small things and see what happens. And sort of look at, one of my mentors talks about like a manifesting signature, like because everyone is different. We're all completely unique. Our traumas are unique. Whoops, there goes my IG. Our traumas are unique, and our manifest, like everything about us is unique, right? It's individual. We manifest differently. Everybody does it differently to their own design, right? So we want to take a look at that and be like, okay, so when that happened, what things were in place? Like, what were the things that lined up? What was I doing that made that happen? You want to take a look at, like, what are the patterns in which I manifest? What are the patterns in which things show up? Because some things are strategic and some things have to do with how you feel. How did I feel that day? Right? How did I wake up that day? Or what is the like escrow I've been building and then it popped off that day? It's like I was building and building and building and then it happened, right? So it's also taking a look at that. We're going to dive much deeper into all of these things in the summit, which I'm really excited about. I'll give you guys exercises and stuff you can take with you. So please share this live. Please share this with a friend. Tag someone who needs to hear this so we can share with as many people as possible.
Absolutely. And I just want to touch on a couple of things that Aggie said. And like she said, we are definitely going to go deep because each of our speakers has like 45 minutes to an hour to pour into you about this. That's how important this is. I mean, can I get the amen? Is money important? Right? But yet it's the thing we're like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to touch it, but it's really important, right? Zig Ziglar has this quote, money might not be everything, but it ranks up there with oxygen. Okay, that's the reality. So there's a word that Aggie used that I really love, and it's called stewardship. My actual word for 2021 is to be a good manager. And that might not sound sexy, right? But when I looked up the definition, there are two definitions of manage, and one is to come through something difficult. You managed to get through that. You managed to make it in it. That ain't 2020, nothing is, right? And the other piece is, are you being a good steward over your resources? And I am determined to be a good steward over resources, my community, my money this year, and get out of my own way. And I think that's why I divinely received No Small Business Left Behind, and also to do this money summit, right? Because I'm like, dang, if I'm going through this, I can't be the only one. And I know I'm not the only one. So how can we bring this together in a really cohesive way that says, okay, if I'm going to do the work, let me do the work. But what does that really mean? How do I get the information I need? Because sometimes it feels like that's one of our biggest pieces, is not being able to get the information, right? And we brought that all together on the 16th because we are talking to Aggie about how do you manifest the money. And then we're talking to Stacey Hyland about how you add a zero to your money. Right? So we're going to bring it in, then we're going to increase it, and then we're talking to Nicole Barham about how do you then mind it, right? So Aggie, her topic is 4 ways to supercharge your manifesting skills. And look at that. She put the word skills behind manifesting, right? There are tools that you can learn. And most of us are kind of goal-driven and putting together, like, how do I do this by step? And that's what we're going to do. Right? And Stacey Hyland is talking about adding a zero without the hustle. Now, y'all know I'm a hustler, right? But I get tired too. Sis be tired. So we gotta figure out, how do we add a zero without like killing ourselves, right? I'm already doing all the things, right? And then Nicole is gonna bring it to the end with 5-minute bookkeeper, which is a DIY your bookkeeping in just 5 minutes a day. Now,
and tax season is upon us, so that's really necessary too.
Exactly. Taxi, you want your books right. And I didn't even know what books were. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, why do they call it books? And what is this? And that's how much I didn't know about business money. I mean, I barely knew about personal finances, right? And then I get thrust into doing business finances. And so that's why we put the summit together. And so as we begin to wrap up, this is so important. Thank you, Karen. So I gotta do a shout out right now because Charlie's son is watching. I graduated from law school in 2003. He was in my class. I think that's almost around the last time I saw him. Hi, Charlie. So I just had to shout that out. Exactly. So that's really funny. But that's how this happens, right? You go live and anybody can come, and I love it.
I love
If
it.
anyone has any questions, do you want to look? Hey, Simply Doyen, we see y'all on IG. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you. I saw Kingdom Catering was in the house. Amy's in the house. Okay, we got Momo's in the house. So if you have any questions, we are happy to put your question up on the screen if you want to put that in a comment. Same thing on IG. If you have any questions as we begin to sort of wrap up our conversation with Agnes Kowalski, if you have any questions about money and manifesting. And in the meantime, I actually want to do a little shout out. So we're talking about money, right? So can y'all see?
Oh, I love that.
This is a candle, right?
I love
And
it.
because we're supporting small business owners, this is by Lindsay Created, and it smells delicious. I think I waited like 2 months, and on like the New Year's Eve, she like, okay, they're ready, and everybody bought them, and they're gone again. But so check out Lindsay Creative, and then at our last No Business Left Behind 2-day summit, second Saturday summit, at her very first ever doing an event where she was a vendor. Bikers and Babes, Shop Bikers and Babes launched her jewelry line for women who are a little strong and a little like bikerish and a little sassy and sweet, right? So I love these. They're delicate, but they're made of wire and super strong. And that's what we do, right? That's why we have No Small Business Left Behind, because we are determined to ensure that we don't leave behind any businesses. And I would be remiss if I didn't hail my curls today, right? The curls are a collaborative effort between Collective Coils and Cocoa Pie Curls, okay? So that's what we do. We actually manifest dollars and circulate them within our community, right?
There's an opportunity to sponsor this, right? So, Michelle?
But say that again?
There's an opportunity to sponsor this event as well, right?
Oh, yeah. If you want to vend and be a sponsor, definitely reach out to me. Obviously, on whichever platform you're watching. Most people know how to get in touch with me, for sure. Yeah, if you want to be a sponsor or a vendor, we're going to have virtual vendor booths, because this is a virtual event. And then the last thing that I definitely want to be sure that we cover is just to say, please, no matter where you are in your journey, give yourself grace. Understand that none of us know it all. How together somebody might look on social media, they don't have it together. And there's always, always, always something else that could be done. And so it's okay to take a pause and a breath and to just kind of say, I got this, I'm gonna just keep pushing forward, right?
And you're still
understand
here, and you haven't stopped, and you haven't given up, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. So thank you so much in your Empowered Women, Empower Women t-shirt. I love it. My daughter gave me that as a mug, which coming from my baby girl, really like, all the waterworks. But thank you so much, Agnes. We can't wait to see you and learn from you on the 16th. I'm looking forward to folks coming to the No Small Business Left Behind Money Summit, the only summit you need, and you will get the replays when you register. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. We will be talking with Stacy Hyland next week, and she's going to talk to us a bit about her workshop on how to add a zero without the hustle. So head over to NoSmallBusinessLeftBehindSummit.com and get your ticket there on early bird for the rest of the week. Get them. All right, I'll see you guys later. Thank you, Aggie.
Thank you.